where we are live on the Rec Yard every Wednesday night. Hey, everybody. It is Wednesday, and we are live on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast. I'm Marci Marie.
I'm Toonche.
And we are barely Toonche, guys. Toonche hates me. Toonche hates me. I've been in the virtual studio for 10 to 15 minutes, making sure everything was properly set up. And I want you to know, Toonche, when did you come in?
Literally 30 seconds ago.
You hate me. It's official.
Honey, here's the deal. I just got out of another meeting, and then I was trying to post that meme about Taylor Swift on my Facebook stories, and I lost track of time.
You had priorities.
That's right.
The Taylor Swift meme on your Facebook stories. That's yeah. We all see where we fall. I guys, I see y'all in the chat. I love you guys so much. It's Wednesday, and I have been like stressy this week, so I'm so happy to be hanging out with everybody. Department of Corruption Stories is here, and we appreciate you guys. He's following us on watching from YouTube right now. Make sure and follow his channel. He's doing some major prison reform things in his area, and he's very supportive of all of our prison reform stuff going on in Texas, and we appreciate that so much. And shout out Audra Lee for seeing how seamless the intro was. Yes, it was perfect.
And guess what? Maybe I should show up 30 seconds before we start.
Get off the gas. Get off the gas right now.
Hold on a second. I need to say, Lori, you're here, and I see you busting me out about TikTok too. Lori shared my own TikTok with me. If she wants to bust people out, she thought it was funny, and I said, "This is my TikTok."
Well, I want you to know that helps the algorithm, girl. The algorithm.
Lori, she did it because she wasn't paying attention.
Well, Lori, for those of you that might not know, Lori Mellinger is one of our fabulous steering committee members for Enter Plug here for our organization, Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance. And we're so glad she's joined us tonight. And we always love anyone who will call out Toonche on her BS. It takes a village, people. I see Lori, good evening. Justice, love you. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Judy, I see you. So happy. Carrie, you guys are all here, and I'm just so grateful for it and so happy to see everyone. Let me remind you guys to hit that like button. Make sure you're commenting and sharing the live. We appreciate that so much. If you happen to be listening to this episode wherever you hear your favorite podcasts, we would absolutely appreciate if you left us a review. So tonight we are talking about New Year's, and we know it's the second week of January, but last week we had to hit that topic about Gypsy Rose. I almost forgot her name, and I don't know how, because she has come out in abundance. She's everywhere. Everything I open up, I see Gypsy. But we are talking about New Year's Eve, New Year's Day in the penitentiary, what that time of year kind of meant for us while we were doing time, how we celebrated it, how we coped with it. And I'm kind of excited to hear about all of that.
Oh, I thought you were going to do the intro for the update.
I missed it too. I missed it. You know why I missed it? I was just seeing that Justice said that he followed Department of Corruptions, and I appreciate that so much. We really appreciate that. And Lisa's saying, you're catching us live, Lisa. Here we are. And it's every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're so sorry for that. We're so sorry if we've missed you other times, but we are here 95% of the time live, and the other 5%, every now and then we have to pre-record because of our other priorities. So before we get to the show,
okay.
Hey, Toonche, let's do a weekly recap. Guys, that little incarcerated lady that pops up on that's my bestie, Cher Marie, and it makes my heart so happy every time I see that. And I know once we get our professional, graphics and everything a little bit more professional, that's part of our, New Year's resolution here on the Rec Yard is to get a little more professional setting, that kind of thing. I just hope she's is still included in that.
Well, we've been talking about somebody helping us professionally going on a year now, and I feel like we're going to manifest it at some point. That's Jerry, by the way, the Facebook user. That's our private Linus group. There's Jerry coming in hot.
Jerry is did quite a bit of time, over 30, and she's a huge supporter of this of the show, a huge supporter of Linus, and a good friend. So, hi, Jerry. Glad to see you. So, Toonch, weekly recap. How was your week, honey? Do you remember?
I don't really remember it all that well. There's been a lot of catching up at the desk, emails. I really I hurt my shoulder real bad, so I can't even move my arm. So I'm doing things with one arm, and then trying to answer emails and get caught up with all the work meetings and all the events that we're planning. It's just been a lot of office work, computer stuff. Still great. I thrive on it, but
Well,
yeah.
well, my week has been completely insane. It has my world has been turned upside down. So we're helping out some family while they fight with their addiction and address that and get on their feet, looking for employment, housing, all of the things that come with being a parent of two children. And we're helping them by we've taken the kids in. We have temporary guardianship over a 6-year old and a 9-month old infant.
Oh.
I think that I am just a walking zombie. I'm not getting the sleep that I need. I'm not any guys, you parents of infants, I have a whole team behind me here and I am exhausted. Y'all that are doing it, that are working or just working in not just working in the home, but whether you're a stay-at-home parent or you're a working parent or you're a working from home parent, which is kind of what I'm trying to do, big shout out. Like I am so much more impressed with you all. I had little kids at a time, but I was young. 45-year-old Marci is worn out.
You're 45?
Yes, darling, I had a birthday.
What'd
We
you get for your birthday?
We like, I happen yes, I happen to be wearing it, and I don't know that, it will do justice for me to show the camera, but my one of my very good friends and the co-host of my podcast, Toonchi, she got me this bracelet, and it is you're gonna make me cuss on here, and
Do it.
I
It's
try to
okay.
be
It's not
careful.
TikTok. It's okay.
It says the engraving says I'd shank a bitch for you right in the kidney. And it's
God,
by far my favorite birthday gift.
what a
It's so
joy.
funny. Don't you and you told me it was coming, and I was overwhelmed with the kids and tired, and I was already in bed one night, and you said, "Well," you called and you said, "Well, honey, Amazon said that there's a package on your porch." And I said, "Girl, I did see a package, but I've been so tired. I threw it on my desk and haven't even looked at it."
Just
She
laying there.
said, "Get out, go get out of bed and go get that." So I opened it in bed and Brittany was at work. I had taken off my wedding band, which I hardly ever take off, but I do take it off when I wash my face. I was so tired, I didn't slip it back on. But I slipped the bracelet on, and she came home Y'all, she came home from work at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm asleep with this bracelet, and she sees my ring sitting on my end table. She was like, "What is this?" I don't know. I'm so anyway, she thought it was adorable. We laughed so hard about it, probably because there's a there's a hint of truth behind that statement.
I mean, yeah. Right. Like I'm trying to be better and not to cope with things in a non-violent way. But there is a sentiment, the feeling behind it is, um, I'll go toe to toe. That's how we are when you do time together. You go toe to toe with anybody that truly like lionesses. Like, I mean, I just can't think of a better example or symbol. And it's so fun, right? Like, because you know what the message is under the bracelet. And that's kind of how like we live our lives. Like on the outside, all of us were, oh, they professional women that did, yeah. But underneath that, please don't ever try any of us and we find out. Right?
Well, there's
Now,
that.
is that always healthy, Marcy? Probably not, but it is a bond that you cannot break.
Well, facts, big facts. And if we were in the penitentiary, we would say, yeah, we're about that life.
Right.
I don't think they really say that out here. I remember when I first got to prison, somebody wanted me to do something that was common, that was a survivor. In the penitentiary, when you're doing, especially when you're doing big time, you have to have a life. But the regulations within the penitentiary don't really even allow you to have a friendship, quite honestly. So I think it was passing something to somebody, and nothing like, I'm not talking about passing a shank, people. I'm not talking about passing heroin. I'm talking about passing a birthday cake or a birthday
Mm.
card or something,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, no, I'm really scared." I'm really scared. And I remember some girls say, "Leave her alone. She's not about that life." And I was like, "What does that mean? I'm not about that life." And I became about that life. It didn't take very long. Uh, Lee is in the comments, and Lee is watching from YouTube. We appreciate you joining us tonight. And the comment says they should make prisons in Texas and Arizona have air conditioning. It should be mandatory. And in all southern states, I agree completely. And just to broaden that, across the country, people incarcerated need to live in safe temperatures. All prisons should have climate control,
Right.
because this time of year, and it's cold in some Texas prisons,
Oh, yeah.
we're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
it. We're getting the letters from the folks on the inside. I have and been in contact with some men on the Beto unit. The windows are broken. They're feeling a draft. They are not having heat. They're only issued one blanket. I mean, I know it's tough in Texas, but it's even tougher in the northern part of the country. And I have a friend who did his time in Ohio, and he talks about how brutal Ohio winters are in the
Mm.
penitentiary, and how many men they have get sick or pass away during the winter. It's equal to, I don't know if it's equal, but it's, comparable to a Texas summer in the penitentiary. And you're right, Lee, it is about respecting human rights. It's a human rights issue. It is not, we want to make things cushy and comfortable. And we could talk about, anytime somebody mentions air conditioning, I'm going to highlight it, because it's huge. It's huge. We watched people lose their life every summer in Texas prisons, and you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, and Lori says, y'all can't get a professional person to help with the podcast. It simply wouldn't be the same. We love it like it is.
Just
Lori,
like it is. Just like it is in all of its imperfection and glory. Um, well, we appreciate that because I don't think we've made much headway in finding a professional.
we we
It's
really
a
have.
good thing that y'all like it just like this because This is how it's coming at you for a while.
Yeah, I'm so tired that I didn't even notice all the folks that have hopped on here. Guys, we see you.
Girl,
And we
Marcy's crazy right now, and I'm sorry for using the word crazy. She's not tracking. She's
no,
not.
no. And this is a reprieve from our normal operating life. Our podcast with you all is a reprieve. But when I told Brittany, "Hey, it's podcast night, and I can't have the kids in the background." Like, this is he's Brittany says, "I'll take him to McDonald's." I'm like, "Okay, well, 20 minutes
Oh.
before, you're gonna have to I need that 15 minutes." She's like, "Okay." I said, "And don't come back till 8."
Man, this is moments like this, and the babies are so cute. The baby is um like a little squishy old guy. Like he is so cute, and he just is very curious and very open-eyed, and he was like, just
Yeah.
adorable, right? Like, Marcy, I wish I had my Bucky doll because I'd use it as a baby. You were like this.
I had some meetings today where the kids now the 6-year-old, he started school today, so he had a
Oh,
great
okay.
school day, and that went
Mm.
wonderful, but I had meetings today with the 9-month-old, and yeah, I know I'm trying to focus on what's being said and prevent this 9-month-old from eating something he's not supposed to, or sticking his finger in an electrical outlet, or whatever else 9-month-olds do. Our house is just now barely getting baby proof, so
Mhm.
that's a lot of it also, is that we didn't live in this, world where we had a 9-month-old crawling around all the time, so
Well, Marcy, I have to make sure that I don't electrocute myself most days. So, it's a lot, but you'll get used to it and it'll adjust, and the babies and the kids will adjust to their new little schedules, and all will be
yes.
well.
Yes, and I have, confidence in their parents to get things together and to use this time, wisely, so I'm just we're happy to spend the time with the kids. I'm not complaining. I We adore them. They're we love them. We love them, and on top of that, they're just good-natured kids, so please don't take it as a complaint, like, don't go tell their mom we're on podcast complaining. But you're right, we will get used to it. The sleep patterns is, what's going to be a big difference for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So new year, here we are,
New
2020.
year, new me, new you. It's you know, thinking about being incarcerated during New Year's Eve is always a celebration with the Sprite and the food and sitting up watching. It used to be Dick Clark's. What is it called now? I don't know. Just ABC's
I
Rocking
just say we
Around, or
always say the ball drop. We're gonna watch.
yeah.
Are y'all gonna watch the ball drop?
I don't. I don't think we ever said that though. It sounds awfully like balls drop. I don't know. We used to say just rock Dick Clark's rocking around the whatever it was, but yeah, or the ball drop. But they would have the pre-recorded people singing, or one year it was Mariah Carey and Britney Spears and all that. So we would sit up and wait for that, and that's all the specific things that we do the night before. But I would love for us to talk about emotionally. And everybody's like, really? That's not the fun stuff, Jennifer. We want to hear about the champagne Sprite. Um, but the emotional stuff of what a new year meant to us. For me, it was, look, you remember them bookmarks that they gave us in the library that had all the months on it? It had 6 months on one side, the other side had another 6 months, and you put an X through each month, and then you finished it. Sometimes I kept those bookmarks to count that, look at how many years I've finished. Because it symbolized, we counted years, and we counted years also by lockdowns too. Like, I've got 5 more lockdowns left. I've got, 10 more years or, whatever. So, what did that mean for you emotionally every New
Well,
Year's?
I think that that's exactly what anything that significantly showed a passage of time. So sometimes for me, that was the end of the summer
Mhm.
because, like, okay, I survived. We're talking a lot in the chat. I hear you guys talking with each other, or see you guys talking with each other about the lack of air conditioning and how that affects people in there. But you do have a sense at the end of the summer saying, I survived that summer. And then of course the new year, the new calendar year, it made you feel like you were one step closer to home. For me, I had been, so many of those years, I had been denied parole the previous year. And so the new year, kind of with that came the new hope for a possibility at making parole. We knew a lot of people that were that at the New Year's Day and around New Year's time, you would hear people say, I'm eligible for parole this year. People that had bigger numbers that weren't eligible until 10 years or even 5 years or more, that year when it was, even if it was October of that year, on New
Yeah.
Year's Day, that was a celebration, in not only in their spirit, but it's something that we celebrated together. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and time is such a different. Now I'm not going to get into all the quantum physics stuff about time, but time is actually a social construct. It's because time as a side note, if you don't know this, Marcy, do you know time speeds up with the pull of gravity? Know
No.
that? Now I say that. Now, why am I saying this? You're like, "Oh boy, here we go."
I
Um,
know. I'm
right.
wondering what's going to happen right now.
Follow me here. Follow me here. It's you're gonna want to stay with me here. So that what that means is that time is not actually static. And so time is a concept and time can be experienced differently through our perspectives, right? Like time, yes, is a measurement. Humans created the concept of time as a measurement, but it is experienced differently in different situations. So out here, boy, we may have felt like we had a long day, right? But pretty much like we got stuff done, and or it depended on what we did at work, it may have felt longer or shorter. But you know what time was like in ad seg, and you know what I know what time was in separation in county jail, which it you find things to stretch out and enjoy the day. Like, I'm going to read this book for 30 minutes. I'm then going to watch this little ant take this crumb into the crack. And now that's eaten up an hour, right? Like an hour becomes a day becomes a year becomes so much more. We experience time in a very, very different way. And that's real because it's real to us. So when we mark off a calendar year, that is, it's like marking off 10 years to the outside world. That's where I was going with that.
Okay, well, that was a way to get that was a way around to get to that, and I feel you. I feel you. I do, but you're right. I mean, your perception of time, depending on the situation, is much different, and that's something that we talk about. Being incarcerated, we have to remind each other and remind ourselves when we're dealing with our family and loved ones on the outside, when we're not understanding why they hadn't written in a week or why they weren't able to answer the phone. And well, life is happening out here and time is moving fast, much, much faster than for someone in the penitentiary, for absolute certain. I was thinking about, when you were talking about ad seg, doing time in ad seg, I was thinking about a holding cell.
Mm,
Those those holding cells, when you have nothing, oftentimes they're very cold, and you're perception of time goes completely out the window.
Right.
And then the other thing I was thinking about, the way that we pass time in AdSeg, I remember getting a magazine and you would read every single word. You know how you get a magazine and you kind of thumb through, and then you might read one article, and then you might look at some pictures. Oh, look what Taylor's wearing now. And,
Mhm.
but you're, those ads for that weight loss product, you are reading the fine print
Yeah.
on those ads to help you pass time. It's absolutely no joke. And then Carrie, and if I find the comment, I'll put it up there. She's asking about New Year's goals for 2024.
2024. What are your goals for 2024? I want to hear it personally and professionally.
Well, I'll start with the social media, Marcy. Last year, I looked at the video that Brittany and I did for talking about New Year's resolutions, and it was to not take negative comments to heart. Last year, as in 2022, so 2022, I spent a lot of time. If someone left an ugly comment, I'm going to click on your page. I'm going to look at your page. Sometimes I can dismiss it. Like if you have a big MAGA hat on, I'm like, oh, that's why, because you don't know any better. but but sometimes it's like, I remember one person and it still gets to me. She's like, her page looked cool. She was a yoga instructor. I liked some of the things. I looked her up on Facebook. She commented on TikTok. I dug in so deep that I'm on her Facebook page, and I really took things to heart. And I'm like, how is she not seeing that the way we're treating humans, caging them like this is not okay? How is she not
Mhm.
seeing it? And
Mhm.
it really affected me. So anyways, I'll say that resolution happened. Y'all, I have kind of gone into um, this idea of a new year is a calendar idea of a new year. And maybe it's not the time to make big changes. I think that the springtime, as the earth is changing, as the seasons are changing, um, and so I've kind of adapted that idea. So I haven't put a whole lot of this is what I want to do for 2024. When I look at my recap for 2023, I will say that I've put a little 45-second video montage thing together, and Brittany and I have watched that 200 times easily because I cannot believe my third year out of prison. So much has happened in my life, and it's making me teary-eyed now to think about 4 years ago. I was sitting, in a cubicle in the penitentiary behind razor wired fences, and 3 years later, I mean, just when you look at that short little 45-second, bam, 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 me with my family, me with my daughters, my grandsons, and advocacy work at the Ledge and traveling, and 2024, it's going to be hard to beat 2023, honestly.
For
And
sure.
Tooch, let me say this because, and I have, there's a handful of people, 8, 9 people that affected my 2023 in such a powerful way. And I don't know if that year just was me settled into the free world and me able to really open myself to new opportunity and new friendship and new ideas. And I haven't been able to fully show my appreciation. I've only been able to kind of message a few. But Toonch, baby, it was you too. It was you for me for 2023. It
Oh,
was, yeah.
don't
Did you
make
see
me
how
speak.
that rhymed?
It was great, and I'm not gonna get teary-eyed and
Yeah.
emotional because.
No, it was, and when I was looking at that recap and making the recap, looking through my photos and thinking about moments that we had, not only here on the podcast with all of you wonderful folks, but in our advocacy work and in Colorado and all of that. You have been, I have grown to completely adore you. I think that I respected you and loved you as my sister, my formerly incarcerated sister before, but I fell in love with you as one of my dearest friends this year, and I just appreciate you so much. That's
Um,
all.
look how my ears turning red. I'm bottling all my emotion in my big ears. Well, I certainly feel the same way. I mean, I've told you before that when I find other women who are as passionate as I've felt bottled up, the passion inside of me for the women that we left in Gatesville and the girls trapped in TJJD. Um, it it's just something special to me to find friends that get it, and they're ready, and they're ready to help other women grow and become leaders. And I mean, the lie that they told us on the inside was women don't stick together. Well, there's a lot of reason that conflict happens between women, and if you keep peeling it back, you'll find trauma, and you often will find the whisperings of men to create division. And I've been guilty of it. We all have, as women, but truly together we're our most powerful. And I've had a boy, 2023 was a boom, boom year for me. For all of us, a lot of learning and growing, and a lot of excitement, and a lot of drama, and a lot of um, really highs and lows for me emotionally, personally. But, you know, this year, I meant your birthday gift. The sentiment behind that is true. I too absolutely just love you and Brittany so much. And I won't tell people how you cussed out those girls playing pool next to us that time. But
Well, I think you
God,
just did.
baby, we have a lot of fun, this group of friends, and it's something I've looked for my whole life. And really, I think it shows and it speaks to that goal that we had creating Linus. Was how do we take this community on the inside, that joy, that friendship, those bonds, and duplicate that out here, because that's what I survived on. And the way that we all have been able to do that and continue to grow that, it it is what I live for every day. So I want to say that again, 2023 for me was a lot. A lot of heartache, but a lot of joy. And I think for 2024, um, Marcy, don't roll your eyes because you're getting ready to.
Oh, if it's something with to do with Taylor Swift.
Hey, you're just gonna have to bear through it for just a second, right? Just like my long dissertation about the concept of time. So for me, this year is focused on healing, health, empowerment, strength, and stepping in to my genuine self. And I think it was Elaine. She was in the her text in the chat. There is the Facebook user, but she's in our Linus group. To be unapologetically authentic, right? And the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever that means, and continuing to learn and grow and develop through that. And I think I have spent a lot of my time over my whole life not feeling worthy or validated, or not feeling just punished, and I'm just moving past it. I'm ready to be my most unapologetic, authentic, genuine self. And if people don't like that, well, that's unfortunate. People that know my heart will appreciate it, and I just feel emboldened in 2024. um, the re-release of Reputation is probably going to happen. Now, why do I bring that up? Because that's my error. And if anybody knows anything about the Reputation error, it is all about embracing the narrative that has been stolen from you, that has been used against you, and you get to own it. You get to own it. And what does that mean for your growth and your empowerment, to reclaim that? And so that's what this year is about for me. I'm
I love
excited.
it. I love it, and I feel like that is almost an organizational thing for Lioness as well because, we've just been moving so quickly. Such big things have been happening for our organization, and we were just asked in a meeting this week that somebody said, "So how long have you guys?" And we're like, "Oh, a little over a year we've been doing this, and you've already done this and this and this and baby, when you get together a group of formerly incarcerated women, there there we are a force to be reckoned with, and I think that that's something that, you have we're really good at speaking what needs to be said, and not holding back, like, telling legislators exactly how you have to remove a tampon in the middle of a bus out in the
Right.
open. We come with it. We come with it when
I'm
it's
with it.
time. So, absolutely.
Y'all, Marcy did. Marcy told legislators to their face, bear with me, y'all, I'm just going to be bold. And she detailed the degrading way, the inappropriate non-policy way that they were strip searching us at Plain State Jail. And I want to say I need to go check the audio and the video on that because I'm not sure, but I feel like you said skin it back.
No, I said, "Ma'am," I didn't say skin it back. I said, with an officer kneeled down with her flashlight in my pointing at my vagina, telling me to show me more pink because
That's
that's
right.
what it was. That's what my intake
That's what it was.
strip search entailed. But what I love is I'm making eye contact with these state legislators
Straight.
as
Boom.
I'm saying this, and I'm just watching their eyes open, what, like, they're shocked, jaws are dropping. They just they've never heard it just given raw. Well, you've got us. You've got us, baby, because I'm not the only one. I was just talking to Toonch the other day, that the thing about our ladies, in our group is it's not just Toonch is this powerhouse. It's not just Marci Marie with the social media. It's not, no, it is every single one of us brings so much, and behind our lived experience, behind our knowledge of free world experience and education and all of the things that come with that, behind all of that, we have such a passion. It's not just me passion, her passion. It's all of us have this drive, this fire within us. And I see big things for our organization for sure this year.
Yeah, I do. And the friends and the coworkers that we have, I just see us continuing this path of empowerment, right? Like, and not just, I think we start with our stories and having the courage to say that and learning how to do that. Yeah, but that's not just all we are, right? And I think everybody in the group is really discovering that, and other people are discovering that, right? Like, Marcy's not just her incarceration story. She's a savvy social media influencer, and she knows how to do all that. And Jennifer's not just her story of being in the system. Like, she's well organized, she's a writer, she has the skills of leading a meeting or whatever. And everybody has, we are not just to come in and tell a story. We have all these unique skills that are being refined in ways that I don't think we ever thought were imaginable. And as they continue to be refined, and as we continue to bring women in to elevate that, because that's the goal, right? It's not for me and Marcy to show our faces all the time, which I'm sure people maybe sometimes get sick of seeing, but I think it's just because of our level of capacity currently. But it is to elevate the women that come to the group behind us, so that then she elevates someone, and that we continue to build out um, our each individual internal capacity for strength. And I think that's, we have to, as women, as
Lift each
girls,
other up.
as
Lift each
gender
other up.
expansive people, we have to, because I think that was made clear. And I'm just going to say it, right? That through whatever ups and downs we've had, if we're not welcome somewhere, if people don't see our value, if people think that we'll never change or don't forgive us for our past or our past mistakes, that's fine. We can clean up our side of the street, right? Because Taylor did tell me that. I
There
keep
you
my
go.
side of the street clean, right? Like it will, in all spiritual faiths, also say, you clean up your stuff and moving forward, you do the next right thing. And as that's continued to happen for us, for me, my life is just getting better and better and better. And I just see that continuing to happen. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of all the women I know that have come out of this prison system alive and who are surviving, not just surviving, but thriving.
And that goes for every member of our team. And there are some members that their capacity level right now is, this is my recruitment plug here, right here. It sometimes your capacity level is to share social media posts and maybe make a public comment during legislation. Maybe you only have 5 minutes a week towards this mission and towards this goal of ending incarceration and the devaluing of women, girls, and gender expansive individuals in the Texas prison system. Maybe that's all you have, and that's okay. So I did put our website on the bottom because it takes all of that and this I'm going to spend 60 hours a week on it, like us two, right? It takes all of that. So every single person. I want to say, is this Elaine Campbell
Yes.
that made this comment? So,
Uh-huh.
I another plug right here. Elaine Campbell is running for office. She is running for the Dallas tax. What is it? What is it, Toonch?
It's the
What's the official
assessor.
word? Tax
It's
assessor.
for
Okay.
Dallas
Um,
County. And if she's
for
still
Dallas
here, yes,
County.
she said yes.
Okay, Dallas County tax assessor. Elaine is a huge ally of all things women supporting women. We are massively support her personally, right? And so she is actually having an event. Dallas people, listen up. You guys need to hit up my social media page. As soon as I get off here, I will post it again on my story. It was on there once, but you can also look her up on her social media. Uh, and Elaine, if you're in the comments, put your social media, if you have a website or your social media handle so that folks can find you and see exactly what you're about. But her event tomorrow in Dallas, it's in Deep Ellum, and I don't have all the details because I wasn't prepared, and I apologize for that, but it is on my social media. Dallas folks, you definitely want to know her for sure. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And she had made a comment in the group, and Elaine, you are a member of Lioness, right? Like all the women that support us, even if you don't have direct system impact, we are all impacted. And all of the women that support us are allies. We if you're in that group, you a member of Lioness now. you know, so we really appreciate you, and of course we want to see you successful too. And I saw Angel Carroll also agree that Elaine is amazing, and Angel is also running for House District 52, another powerful woman coming in hot. And go to her. It is Angel for Texas, and she has been on the podcast before talking about her experience in the youth system. Give her some love and support. Another powerful woman who she's also on our steering committee, and she is she's amazing. I really appreciate your wisdom, Angel, if you're still watching. So I do want to thinking about Ledge at the beginning of 2023. And I did mention my favorite moment of Ledge of 2023 was your testimony that was so jarring. God, it was great. It was really great. All of our testimony, Lori's, mine, Mandy, just Jen, everybody showed up. We showed up really powerful. What was your favorite moment of 2023? I mean, I hope that you say when you got married, but
Oh my gosh, so many amazing things happen in 2023 that that in that thought, I'm telling you, Brittany and I, we lay in bed and watch that reel over and over. I promise we have seen it at least 200 times. We're just both so we're at a point in our lives that we had been told so many times we would never get here,
Mhm.
both of us. And in different ways for me, but more for her.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
life, she's been told she wouldn't get here,
Yeah.
by society, by her community, by all of the things that she dealt with growing up, foster system, all of that. But then in prison, we were told so many times
Mm.
that we would you come to prison alone, you leave alone. You don't have no friends in prison. She doesn't love you. She doesn't
Mm.
care about you, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, just we have been told and told and told some more, that it just what my thought was is that most people that get married in a year, they would look back over their year and say, "Wow, yeah, I remember 2017, I got married." But I'm gonna and Brittany also are gonna look back at 2023 and say, "Yeah, we we got married. We got legislation. We were a part of legislation getting passed for incarcerated women, for our sisters that were left behind. We got we played a huge part in getting temporary air conditioning units at the very prison where we met, where people that literally we are still in contact with on a personal level outside of Linus reside and live. Like these all these are huge. And forget the I never dreamed I would get the opportunity to make a little bit of money, enough to survive and travel and do things that I'm completely passionate and about and be around. We never dreamed. We dreamed of coming home and getting a job, maybe, you know, paying bills and surviving. We dreamed of survival. We
Mm.
didn't
Mm.
dream of this. And it's huge. So I can't name just one. I can't. And seeing the women that I've got to watch grow in my role as in Lioness, and women that I was locked up with coming out here, just freaking killing it, y'all. They're killing it. They are working and raising their kids and doing things that they're passionate about and holding true to themselves and what they care about and setting boundaries.
Mhm.
And I mean it's yeah. Yeah, it's just so many. So many in 2023.
Yeah, for sure. Like so many, the session with being able to actually, and I don't think I have to stress this with people, but getting legislation passed in Texas is not an easy task, and it really it really spoke to our truth. It spoke to our courage. Um, that, of course, was a favorite moment. Well, of course, favorite moment was going to see Taylor Swift, but I wanna tell you why, though. I really there was a big article in NPR, and then a gentleman had written an article about why Taylor Swift was important to him in incarcerated. The NPR article was about why music is so important, to incarcerated people, and just because it was a moment that I had dreamed of for over a decade, and what those lyrics and music meant to me in my journey, and to just be there with my best friend who I'd known since I was a child. She was there during my trial. She was there supporting my family as a 15-year-old when they're putting handcuffs on me and sentencing me to 20 years. Like, here we are, and we sat there, and I just held her hand through some of the songs, and I'm like, look where we are. How did we get here after everything that has happened? How? When I messed up again and went back to prison, I she was devastated. My family was devastated, and I said, "We made it. We're here." And then Alexa was there, who was my best friend, one of my best friends, her and Diane, when I was incarcerated, and she was there. And so it almost felt like two worlds in this one moment. And I never thought it was I dreamt of it, but for it to be possible and to feel the gratitude of I haven't been thrown away, and also to be able to reflect on how many women have been, and how how you refuse to allow society to throw them away anymore. Because you and I and all of our friends is what's possible after a mistake, after a bad decision, with the right support. And so that's why that was important to me, and the Gatesville vigil, when we were able to go back to this prison town that harmed us, and to be embraced by the community, which, guess what? A lot of them told you, I had no idea it was like that on the inside. My husband works at the prison. He never talks about it, because those people are harmed just as much as we are. And to be able to hold this vigil and these candles and have the people on the inside be like, we saw y'all on the news, that y'all came all the way here to honor the women and the men that have died because of this heat here. The healing circle, when we went back to Gatesville to have a healing circle, it's just, this is what's possible. And through a lot of personal drama that happened in 2023, guess what? I also learned that despite my mental health, despite my bad reactions and bad behavior, honey, I went through some personal things that any other time would have caused me to go to jail or prison, because I don't know how to control my behavior. I don't know how to ask for help. I don't know how to get away from unhealthy relationships. And for the first time in my life, I pushed through it. The first time. And it's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get all riled up
Yeah.
with tears and grandstanding, but it just, what an impactful, powerful year. And I can't wait to see what's in store for 2024.
Yes. Yes. I just think this forward momentum, it's moving, it's going. We're seeing women rise up in a way that frankly we have not seen, especially system impacted women rise up like this and stand together, stand in unity, and I think it's absolutely incredible. Elaine Campbell is watching us from Facebook. She says her favorite thing was seeing the process of medical transport change. We must keep our eyes on them, but people actually saw how inhumane it is. And I think that was big. And y'all did an amazing job. Thank you. Everyone did such an amazing job getting that legislation passed. And we have been getting letters from the inside talking about the big changes that were made. And that's huge also. While I have Elaine's comment up, let me switch it out with her website very quickly, voteelainecampbell.com. Again, she is running for Dallas County tax assessor. I said
You
it
got it.
wrong
Come on.
again.
It's okay, honey. It's
There
just,
it is. This is
there
it.
you go.
She's the Dallas County tax assessor slash collector. And this is her website. She definitely needs support. So you guys definitely check her out. Thank you, Elaine, for being a huge ally and for pulling up women behind you as you go. You are so amazing at that. Okay, Toonch.
Well, we're down to 8 minutes. Why, you got me all emotional on this. This was supposed to be a fun episode. And here, well, I mean, it was. I mean, I love reflecting on all the incredible, incredible things that we've all done over 2023, and so much work ahead. We've got an election coming. We got ways the nation and the state may drastically change. So we've got a lot. We got a lot ahead of us.
We do. We definitely do. We could touch a little bit about how we celebrated, and not necessarily New Year's Eve, but just New Year's Day in the
Mhm.
penitentiary. And I was just thinking, the common denominators between New Year's in the free world and New Year's in the penitentiary, since that is our topic
Yeah.
tonight. I was thinking about, yes, resolutions
Mhm.
and diet and exercise. We
Yes.
saw in
Girl,
the
everybody turning out to the rec yard. Everybody in the day room doing their exercise. You can hear. I can hear it now. Can you hear the tennis shoes on the floor? People
yes.
stepping into space.
Yes, it happened. And you would, similar to out here, people make these big things that they maybe not be prepared to actually follow through with, and get burnt out very quickly. And I remember always in January, I would get um, frustrated because I really enjoyed my rec time.
Mhm.
We like to
Oh, yeah.
exercise out there, and we liked when a lot of people didn't turn out for
Right.
outside rec because we
Right.
had room, especially where I did my time on Lane Murray. The rec yard was very small. It was per dorm. It wasn't, and so we would, kind of encourage people not to go.
Right. Right. No, I know.
uh, yeah, so that would definitely happen. I want to get through these comments because we just have some great people.
And they
Um,
always did serve black-eyed peas,
oh yes, yes,
which, by
they
the
did.
way, I had no idea that was a good luck thing until I got to prison and people told me. I'd never done that before.
Well, what about your greens? And did you not have cabbage or greens?
My
Well,
family
that
didn't really get into New Year's Eve or New Year's. Like it was to I grew up Southern Baptist. It's like it's the night and the day of the devil. All that
okay,
drinking and debauchery and so we did shoot off fireworks, but we didn't ever do any traditions. Those were considered, I
okay,
don't know, weird
okay.
stuff, right? But
Well, we did. Hey, my mom made some bomb
I'm
black-eyed peas
hungry.
this year. They were so good that usually at leftover time, I know that we don't touch leftovers very often here, and so I'm like packing up everything, and I'm here this on New Year's Day at the end of our meal. I told my mom, I'm just gonna put these in my fridge. That's okay if we just have them here, and I ate them all the leftovers. They were so good. So shout out, mom. Rhonda says she loved in 2023 watching Maggie, which is Maggie Luna, and Jennifer Toonche get recognized on the Senate floor for their hard work. And y'all did get recognized, along
Yes.
with Justin Martinez. And I think
And
Cynthia got
Cynthia.
Cynthia Simon
Yeah.
got
Hmm.
recognized, but she wasn't able to make it. But
Yeah.
you guys were there. I saw the video footage, um, and that was really cool. That was
Yeah.
a
It
cool thing.
was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And we have our North Texas Regional Director for Lioness Justice Impacted Women's Alliance here too, Jennifer. We see you. Nice to see you. Um, we're getting weather warnings for
Yeah, we
those of
are.
you in Texas. Um,
It's starting Monday because I'm going to be coming home Sunday because I'm going to see Diane. Hey, I hope that we can all have lunch or dinner when I'm in Dallas this weekend with Diane. She's in from Germany, and I hope we all get together.
I hope so too. Diane is also a steering committee member for Lioness, also formerly incarcerated, one of Toonche's best friends from the penitentiary. But let me tell you about Diane. Diane handles all the mail from our inside members, and it's a lot. I mean, we have over 200 members that are currently incarcerated, and they drive our work. So we need to hear from them. And she is on top of it. She writes and responds back to every single letter that we get. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, Thank you, Mary. We see you watching from YouTube. She says she's never been to prison, but she feels so connected, and y'all's stories are very inspiring. Thanks so much for that. Guys, we appreciate y'all so much. I want to we're getting down to the last bit, but Little Buddy is also watching from YouTube. Appreciate your podcast. I was wondering if there's a way to help people coming out to be independent business owners. There are different ways to do this for free. Just a thought.
Yeah.
independent business owners, and that's a lot of people that come out of the penitentiary,
Mhm.
end up starting their own businesses because we just like if I'm not welcome in this space, I'm gonna have to make my own space. If you're
So
not gonna
yeah,
hire me, I'm gonna have to make my own job, so
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Tunch,
for sure.
any,
What are we gonna talk about next week?
first convict ballerina says, "Do y'all remember the purple peas?" I remember picking purple peas on Host Squad, if that's what
Don't
you're
bring up
talking about.
those.
Yeah,
Don't
they
bring
are
those up.
purple.
I
Uh,
can't. Hey, so next week I'm going to be coming to y'all live. Is it next week? I'm going to be coming live from Houston. I am going to a Systems of Care conference for Harris County, telling my story as a person in the youth justice system. So I will be at the hotel, hopefully not looking like I'm in the interrogation room because the lighting in there is so bad. Remember the debacle we had in Atlanta trying to get to the internet. So
okay, well, bring your ring light.
honey,
Hey,
my ring light is on this big stand. I
my
don't
mom
have
got you that present. She got you that little ring light. I need to get it to you. Okay, guys. I agree. Whoever D Dom said bring Lainey back on. We are going to ask Lainey. And I want to get Lainey on my YouTube
We've got a
channel
whole
also.
look. We need Robert Lilly to talk about men's experience. We need Barbara Anellis to talk about reentry. We need Lainey back. We can have Mandy. Like we've got a plethora of guests. I feel like coming this year. I think we'll do a better job of surprise guests. So please, if you feel like being on the podcast, showing your face and talking and battling it out between me and Marcy sometimes, then let us know and we're down for it.
I'm really good at getting Toonch to quiet down so that you can have a space to talk. Don't get intimidated by feeling like
Because
you
she
don't know
want to
how to
talk
do
about
that.
the concept of time and quantum physics. Like, girl, boo. Come on,
Okay,
man.
guys. Thank you, Department of Corruptions, as always, for helping basically moderate the show. We appreciate you so much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hitting the like and button, commenting, share this live. Even if you share it on Messenger, that helps us. If you are listening, wherever you hear your favorite podcast, please do leave a review. We appreciate you all. Same time, same place next week, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank y'all for hanging out with us on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast with Marci Marie and Toonche. Make sure and subscribe